All right, we're back. Apollo 11 was the one on the moon? They should have called that one Apollo 1, bro. Would have been... Or they should have called it frickin' Luna 1 or something. They shouldn't have... 11? Come on, what are we talking about here? Are you crazy? I just walked over here. Anyway, the point is... Disney Plus in Canada kind of goes crazy. I built a watch list on the weekend. You catch me watching George C. Scott's 1971 film Patton next. The first Star Wars is number 4. Explain that. That's between Gareth Edwards and God, as far as I'm concerned. Watching 70s movies, we finally got him. The problem with Disney Plus is the algorithm exclusively tries to get me to watch, like, Elemental and Wish, and the editor's note, Wish is not out on Disney Plus as of the time of this recording, but you understand the premise of the joke, I'm sure. So you basically have to actively fight it. You have to be like, stop recommending that I watch Pete's Dragon. I'm not going to see Pete's Dragon by myself in this environment. It's starting to get there for me. Not a huge fan of that. But it's taken a long time. Now, like in the last week, I watched, like I said, Sunshine, The Martian, Kingdom of Heaven, Master and Commander, and The Last Duel. And now, finally, it's like, okay, you're a fucking old dad. Here's some movies you might like about the medieval era. And I'm like, thank you. Was that so hard? And then it's like, you may also enjoy The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, starring Kurt Russell. And I'm like, pump the brakes, kid. We got a lot of Ridley Scott movies to get through. Apparently everything Ridley Scott made was with 20th Century Fox. Yay! Watch any westerns? They're not coming back, boys. I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought it was one person. Apparently there's a lot of people in the chat that are... They leave a light on for the westerns. I like some westerns. I like the good, the bad, and the ugly. But anytime you're like, hey, you should watch like this 1961 movie with John Wayne, I'm like, it's simply not going to happen. As an older guy, was Ridley Scott always like this? Bro, Ridley Scott is like 86 years old. I'm 35. What do you mean was he always like this? Alien came out when I was -9, bro. I don't know. Ridley Scott only started to exist for me when Gladiator came out. That's why I'm going into the back catalog. Is Ridley Scott... What an ignorant question. Has Ridley Scott always been like this? What do you mean like this? I do like that Ridley Scott only makes, like, 2 kinds of movies, though. And I think, you know, some directors are like one for them, one for me. Like one box office hit and then one passion project. I really feel like Ridley Scott does one for him and then one for him. But the 2 different hymns, one of them is like, I love slightly, well, maybe more than slightly exaggerated historical epics. And then the other one is like, I promise it's not an alien movie. And then it's an alien movie. And he just keeps going back and forth. What about Blade Runner? He only did one of those, though. The second one, I don't know. He was too busy making Alien Covenant. Couldn't find time in his schedule. House of Gucci? That's true. He has a third kind of movie, which is like ensemble pictures. American Gangster... House of Gucci. That movie was Ridley. The man has a prolific work ethic. Who has a more precipitous drop-off, Ridley or Tim Burton? Bro, is this Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb? Are you kidding me? Tim Burton, bro. Tim Burton. Ridley Scott's still putting, not every movie's a banger, but he's still putting out, like, fastballs at least. I don't even know. Tim Burton's just throwing depth balls nonstop. What about Frankenweenie? This shit came out in like 2009, bro. You're living in the past. Ridley Scott's made like 14 movies since Frankenweenie came out. Sweeney Todd? That shit came out in 2006 or something. Who's living in the past now, bro? Ridley Scott came out with The Last Duel not but 2 years ago. He came out with The Martian in 2015. I mean, the man is also in his fucking 80s, bro. You understand that? There's not that many, like, artists in any medium out there that still have, like, a 60% hit rate into their 80s, man. Yeah, think about what Tim Burton has done, like, post Big Fish, man. I mean, I loved Tim Burton when I was younger. I've probably seen, I don't know, like 7 Tim Burton movies in theaters, which is frightening to think about. He did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 05. And then like 9 movies where Johnny Depp banged his wife. He's done like so much shit that I can't even remember. You can remember Dark Shadows? Dark Shadows was dog? Of course it was dog. It has Johnny Depp in it. Like, I'm sorry. I'd like, irrespective of where Johnny Depp is at now. I mean, Johnny Depp and Tim Burton, they went down together. He did live action Dumbo 2019. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what happened to Tim Burton. I respect the fact that, you know, he put out some slappers. He defined the goth archetype for a new generation. The first 2 Batmans are good movies. Nightmare Before Christmas, apparently Frankenweenie as well. At some point, maybe it's the curse of, you know, being an artist. You run out of ideas, but you still gotta work. Like, you got bills to pay. Yeah, it's when your goat is washed. It's like watching me play Isaac now. I'm like, you're like, why the hell is he playing Isaac? Well, the rent's due, bro. Still, you can see shadows of like the older self, but I mean, we're not getting Ed Wood 2. And if we did, it wouldn't be what I would want it to be. The shit would be like straight to Crackle or something. For real, they're doing Beetlejuice too? It's... What did Elon say? That horrible tweet? It was like, pretty soon they're just gonna come out with the sequel first. One of the rare times that he's actually cooked. He did tweet Nerve as well. I saw that. Tell me you watched Neon Genesis Evangelion without telling me you watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. This car looks like something Blade Runner would drive. Okay. Huge. 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 Anyway. Spider mod, no. I don't know what that item does, and at this point I'm afraid to ask. Is he joking? I just realized I have more in common with Ridley Scott than I thought. We're both working well into our old age, doing what we love. Not every picture is a slapper, but they're all worth watching in their own way. Hey, FroZim, FroZHM, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Is 86? Is this the part where you say my joke but worse? Yes. Okay. Stream delay? That's just like 1 second. You can't hide behind that anymore. That's like 2014 tech. It's 10 years ago? Yeah, I know. You don't understand. I've come to terms with getting old. It's you that's still in denial. There's no shot. You're on 15-second delay? That's like Dan's internet speed. I was losing it. I never know when Dan is asking an honest question. So Dan said he was moving. I was in his chat for like 10 minutes this morning. He said he's moving, and he said, I need your opinion on this. I can get consumer internet for like 50 bucks a month or something, or I can pay 400 bucks a month and get a dedicated business fiber line. And I said, okay, what is the business fiber line speed? And he said it's 20 megabits up and down, which is obviously dog. So I said, well, the price versus the service is like horrible. But if it's your only option for reliable internet and you're a streamer, then you gotta do what you gotta do. And then I thought about it for a second and I said, like, wait, what's the consumer speed? And he said it's 500 up, 100 down. And I was like, bro, go with the consumer internet. What's wrong with you? That's not even like a sensible question. That's like, should I eat a hamburger or like cyanide? I didn't at first I thought it was like, oh, the consumer internet will be even worse. So like, even though the 400 bucks a month is expensive, like it might be my only way to get reliable internet. It turns out it's just, I think he just likes the idea of him being the only person on his internet line. It's like nobody, he kept saying like nobody else is going to be clogging my pipes. Then he was like, are you on business? Or he said, are you on consumer internet? And I said, yes. And then like a second later, he was like, oh, so you're on business? And everyone in chat was like, no, he said yes to, is he on consumer? And then he said, okay, I'm confused. Is he on consumer or business? And I was just like, what are we doing here? So I just typed, I know Dan is family friendly, so I wanted to type, we go on Rashomon in this bitch. But instead, I just typed, we go on Rashomon in this. I didn't want to insult the man. Then it turned into like, it was like a nationalism debate. People were like, why is your internet so good? And I'm like, because I live in a city. And people were like, oh, I bet Canadian internet's better than American internet. And then people were like, no shot, bro. Canada's like a frozen wasteland. They're like, not in the cities, bro. And I'm like, what are we doing? I was just answering the man's question. And now all of a sudden we're doing like the War of 1812 LARPing all over again. It was crazy, man. Yeah, I started a damn continental war. Don't Canadian ISPs still do data caps? We still pay by the minute up here, man. This is a labor of love. We don't pay by the minute. Come on. You believe that? Hey, guys, we just elected a new prime minister. His name is Jean Poutine. Congratulations, Canadians, on the election of your new prime minister, Jean Poutine. Congratulations, Canada, on getting the first igloo wired up with electricity. Rick Mercer ass. Pay by the minute, ISP. You never heard of Canada Online? You've got mail, eh? It's kind of like a... It's not a very good joke. It's kind of like a... It would kill on Just for Laughs, though. Hey, I know we've done this before, but it's time for like a temperature check. One in chat if you have ever seen the television program Just for Laughs Gags. Yes. I'm trying to figure out if it's Canada's most successful cultural export of all time. It's French-Canadian candid camera. My parents watch it all the time. In defense of your parents, it's on all the time. The thing that solidified for me that this is like a global phenomenon, I knew it was big in Canada because it was on TV all the time. But then when Kate and I went to Korea for 2018, we got in a taxi in like the northeast of South Korea. And the taxi had a TV in it, and the TV was playing Just for Laughs Gags. And I was like, this shit is a plague. It's taken over the whole galaxy, man. What throws me off is that every bit looks like it's from the 90s. The only way you can tell is the age of the dude. There's that one dude who's in like all the Just for Laughs gag stuff. I remember when it started, he was probably in his like mid 40s, and now he's like 70 years old. His name is Antoine Vesna. That is not Sean Majumder. I know Sean Majumder though. I knew Sean Majumder, and you, sir, you're no Sean Majumder. Sacred Orb. That's good. Sacred Orb is good. His name is not Vecna, okay? Corey's probably not here anymore. He probably started his stream. But I believe that Vecna is the villain from Stranger Things Season 7. How? Dude, here's my prediction. By the way, I haven't seen Stranger Things since Season 2. Here's my prediction for Stranger Things Season 4.5 or whatever's about to come out. All right, so it starts, and you're expecting it to be the immediate continuation of wherever the last half season went off. But instead, it's going to start, and it's going to say, first thing it's going to say is like 6 years later, like in text. And then you're going to be like ready for the 1980s, but you're going to hear, dung-ga-dunk, down-down-down, dung-ga-dunk, down-down-down, dung-ga-dunk, down-down-down, and it's going to be it's going to be 1993, and you're going to be like, what? Stranger Things made it out of the 1980s? They made it to the 90s? And it's gonna blow us all away. Then they're gonna say it's strange in time. Who's the bad guy? Bro, we told you, it's Vesna. Antoine Vesna, the Just for Laughs Gags guy. He pranked Will Byers into thinking that the Demogorgon was the big bad, but actually I think that the Demogorgon was just one vessel of pure evil manifested within the Upside Down. Sorry, I'm trying to make everything line up, but it's been a long time since I've seen Stranger Things. Almost called it Der Untergang. No. I've seen season 1, and I enjoyed it just like everybody else did. And then I saw season 2, And I said, I don't see why everybody's so mad about this. I thought it was still pretty good. But then it must have been ass because I never watched season 3. I can still name the characters. There's Mike, Will Byers, 11, although at this point, she must be like at least 17. Detective Hopper. Dustin. Vecna. The guy with the Ted Danson hair. Can we get a, I need a librarian to match this up. You know, if you find, you're going to be like, I'll never find this guy. Look at the guy with the Ted Danson hair. He was supposed to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future, but then they went with Michael J. Fox instead. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's just donate, man. Samwise Gamgee, Bob Newby. You know it's Bob Newby because he says his name 1,300 times. I think that's all I got. That's all I can remember. I thought Vecna was the villain from Ghostbusters. Bro, that's Gozer. Or Gozer's the dog, right? What is it? Vigo? Well, that's Ghostbusters too. I would like to think that OP wouldn't have made such an amateurish mistake. Zool! Zool's the one! Yeah! Rise Al Zool. I don't know what I'm doing here, man. Give me this. What happened to Rick Moranis? I believe sometime in the 90s, his wife died, and he said, fuck Hollywood, I'm going to raise my kids and play folk music. And that's basically what he did. Yeah, in other words, like Chad said, he pieced out like a Chad. Chad behavior. Then he came back for a commercial in like 2021 and got punched in the face and disappeared again. He did get punched in the face. That was just like a random attack on the street, right? I forgot about that. Okay, so I've seen you type in chat many times. NL, do I have your consent to build a large language model based on your voice, training it on the transcripts of your videos? No, you don't. And then the last message you said is, because someone in chat said, are you joking? And you said, I'm not joking. I would love to get consent from the man directly. You don't have it. It's not a personal attack. I'm not mad at you. But I would like to acknowledge that I also cannot stop you. But you do not have my assent to it. +2 for asking? Well, no, not if they're going to make it anyway. That's a -2. But I acknowledge it's not like I could do anything about it. So, and it's probably already been done many times. That being said, the soul belongs to the man, okay? No matter what pieces deign to move it. So it's I'm gonna leave it in your hands. Are we watching AI NL right now? Absolutely not, because I make sense. And I'm saying things that are interesting and occasionally also make people laugh. It is a +2 for asking. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say +2 for asking. That you've given me more consideration than Midjourney did, at least. Let me get you. Go to Midjourney. Bald Canadian streamer playing independent roguelite video game. Tell me my ass doesn't pop up. Do not type glasses into the prompt and see if it gives me glasses. That's how you know we're cooked, boys. Jacket, glasses, shirt. Call me glasses, jacket, shirt man. Know what I'm saying? I gotta do something with this Eden soul, bro. Thoughts are arriving like butterflies. NL, I hate to break this to you, but actually bald with glasses is a stereotype. Nah, I'm one of one, you know? Daniel, thank you for the raid. I'd like to apologize for insulting you. You want to talk football? I didn't insult you. I insulted your question of internet, okay? Because all I said was, I can't believe I wasted my time answering, honestly, your business question when it found out that, or it turns out that the consumer internet was literally like 50 times faster. Like, I don't understand why we were wasting our time discussing if you should get a dedicated fiber line that carries, you know, 2% of the speed that the consumer line does. But anyway, you want to talk football? Brother, what the hell happened to the Jacksonville Jaguars? Has anyone talked to Hot Boy Toke in the last 24 hours? 70% favorites to, like, win the division 2 weeks ago, didn't even make the playoffs? Like, what happened, man? I mean, this, you know, my team is the Seahawks. The Seahawks, whatever, you know, even if they made the playoffs, they're getting rinsed. I'm not too worried about it, especially because I watched about 3/4 of the games this year. And by 3/4, I don't mean 12 or 13 games. I mean literally 1/4 3 times. Plus, it doesn't matter because we're entering the Penix Jr. era. Huskies are sweeping tonight. It's Huskies sweep. I'm going to say conservatively, Huskies win their first national championship since 1991. I'm going to say it's 72-13. And you're like, really? You think Michigan's only going to get 2 scores with that offense? No, I think they're going to get 3 scores. No, wait, I got it backwards. You think they're going to get 3 scores? No, I think they're going to get 2 scores. I think they're going to get 1 touchdown, and then they're going to get a second meaningless touchdown later, but the kicker's going to be so tilted he's not going to make the extra point. Get it twisted. Michigan's got the best defense in the league. They haven't had to deal with an air raid offense like the one Penix Jr. runs yet. The dude can... Every single pass is a 70-yard Hail Mary or literally a 50 caliber bullet launched just over the heads of the defensive ends. He's a stud. Nobody can stop him, except that one time that Washington State almost stopped him in the Apple Cup. But I think, honestly, all I can really do is blame that on the offensive coordinator, okay? I think that they just... The OC was trying to stunt on them rather than just run the clock. That's all I can say. And Oregon? What are you talking about? Bo Nix stands in the chat. He beat your team twice. What do you... Oh, dude. No. It's best... In college football, it's best of 5. What are you talking about? They play like 6 games total a year. He beat you twice. What more can he do, bro? Anyway, that's all I got. Male personality question. Would you rather be a samurai, a pirate? Wait, what was the other one? A samurai, a pirate, or cowboy? I hate to say it. I would choose to be the samurai. With all the rudeness that entails. See, I watched Master and Commander, as mentioned. I really don't want to be a pirate. I think it's nice to have... I get that they weren't pirates, but, I mean, pirates kind of like in the same conditions, but worse, right? I'm sure it's nice to have the camaraderie of men. But, like, being on a boat is kind of nice sometimes, but not in such cramped conditions, and for such a prodigious length as well. And then a cowboy... I just got to be honest with you. I'm just not that into horses, and I feel like that kind of makes it like a non-starter. A samurai, I think out of the three options, I think I could vibe with it the most. Samurais have horses too. Yeah, samurais ride horses, but their ass ain't like on a ranch or something, right? I don't know. Maybe everybody was kind of on a ranch back then. In a sense. Horses suck? That's what I'm saying, bro. We got bicycles now. We don't need horses. No disrespect to Allison Brie. No, they don't. I have never in my life... And listen, I have respect for the horse. I just don't elevate it above its other brothers in the animal kingdom, okay? So me personally, it's like... I just see it as an animal. I don't have any camaraderie with a horse. And I don't expect a horse to have any camaraderie with me. We go again. Thoughts on the zebra? Better horse. -2? Bro, it has stripes. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? -2. It is. It's like a mythic horse, bro. A zebra would kill you? Brother, a horse could probably kill me. Hey, spiders, kill this guy. Mods, put Lego all over his floor. Can I tell you something embarrassing? I have foot pain that I'm sure comes from my, to put it politely, my unique gait. I haven't seen a podiatrist yet, but I've self-diagnosed myself online as having a condition called Monroe's neuralgia, which basically feels like after walking too much in my socks, it feels like there's a marble in my foot. So when I step on it, it's a little ouchy. It starts to feel like a grain of sand, but after a long day, it's more like a marble. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go get slippers, because it seems like it gets aggravated by walking around because our house is hardwood and tile and stuff. So it gets aggravated by walking around on that. I went to the pharmacy to buy slippers. The drugstore. I walk inside of the drugstore, wall-to-wall slipper section. I'm in the slipper district, okay? I look through every single pair of slippers that they have. Not a single pair of men's slippers. And there's literally, I would say there's 50 to 100 pairs of slippers inside of the pharmacy. Women's. I went to all the end caps. Women's. I bought the largest women's slipper that I could. I didn't care. It's not like pink, but even if it was, I wouldn't have cared as long as it was big enough. Put that shit on at home. I would say like 2.5 inches of my heel is sticking out of the damn back of them. Son of a bitch. There's really no women out there with feet that are equivalent to size 12 men's. Now I gotta go get some slippers from out. Now I got a pair of slippers. My wife's not gonna wear them. She's not a women's large. She's like a foot size. She's probably a women's medium. My kid's not gonna wear them. She's 3 years old. I can't wear them. I'm gonna trip down the stairs. What am I gonna do, man? I gotta buy a second pair of slippers. That's Isaac too.